Alright guys, a lot to talk about today. The NBA is at a pretty crazy point right now. I mean, the 3rd through 8th seed are all within one game apart of each other. The Lakers currently being in that 3rd seed, Minnesota being in the 8th seed, even after beating Memphis last night. With all the crazy tiebreakers between them, it's really complicated. So we're going to talk about that. Obviously the Lakers game tonight. If there might be a possibility of them eventually landing Nikola Jokic, and yes, there is talk about that. Maybe not real talk, but purely speculation. So we're going to talk about all that and try to break it all down here. But before we get too far into it, let's go over our game day picks with Underdog Fantasy. And if you're a new sign up, you can pick Luka Jokic to have higher than 0.5 points later tonight. So yeah, take advantage of that free pick. But then for my picks, for pick number 1, I got Austin Reeves having higher than 14.5 points. Last game was his first time below that in about 7 games now, so I think he will get back above 14.5. Then for my second pick, I got Dorian Finney-Smith having higher than 3.5 rebounds. He grabbed 7 of them their last time against the Rockets, so I think he will get more than 3.5. Then for my third and final pick, I got Stephon Castle having higher than 15.5 points. So if you want to follow along with me, or make your own picks, then be sure to check out Underdog Fantasy, and don't forget to use code JSM to get your free pick, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make a deposit. But now getting back to our topic, and like I mentioned, a lot to talk about today. The playoff picture is currently at a crazy point. Nobody knows who might get the 4th seed, who might get the 8th seed, who the Lakers might be matching up with, and there's definitely a lot to talk about with that. But even apart from that and the talk around the NBA, there is another hot topic, and that does happen to be about Nikola Jokic. After all, the Denver Nuggets made a shocking move to fire their head coach, firing Mike Malone after a decade with their team, not to mention winning an NBA championship with their team, the first Nuggets head coach to ever do that, and yet they fired him and let him go. And not to mention they did it with only 4 games left in the NBA season. So yeah, there's definitely something going on here in Denver. Definitely front office problems, and yes, they did fire their general manager too. Not only Mike Malone here, cleared him out as well with them, but also team problems, all the way up from Nikola Jokic, potentially down to the last guy on their bench. According to reports, Mike Malone had lost the locker room, even apart from that, was quote unquote giving special treatment to certain players. Obviously to Nikola Jokic, and rightfully so, he should have been, but then also to guys like Jamal Murray, and then even more questionable, to Russell Westbrook. Now I'm not sure if that's true, but if it is, that's pretty weird and definitely would give a pretty weird feeling around the team, giving special treatment to a 1-year veteran type of guy in a contract, not to mention a guy that had really never won anything with their team, never won a championship with a different team. Kind of a weird guy to give special treatment to, and probably not worth losing your locker room over, which according to that report, that may have contributed to it. And well, with that in mind here, could that actually lead to Nikola Jokic leaving their team or wanting to be traded from their team? Well, I'm not so sure about that, but according to the betting odds, the Lakers will be the favorite to land him if he does leave their team, either through a trade, and that is what it would have to be through at the moment, or potentially later on during free agency, but they are the current favorites, so absolutely no surprise here. Even apart from the headline and the Lakers being linked to everything and every big name player, there is a connection between Luka Jokic and Nikola Jokic, being good friends and obviously having a good relationship, and some reports even saying they'd like to eventually play together. That's one part of it. Then the other part simply being the fact that, well, the Lakers can kind of pull off NBA 2K type trades now. I mean, obviously with the Luka Jokic trade, that one's really questionable. Why a general manager would ever make that trade and give up on a then 25-year-old superstar, top 5 player in the entire league. Yes, for Anthony Davis, but a trade package that was simply not worth him in my opinion. And that's obviously something to factor in here too. So if they can pull off that trade, who's to say they can't pull off a trade for Nikola Jokic? Well, I think the Nuggets front office might have something to say about that, but theoretically it could be possible, and especially if you do turn off NBA 2K trade sliders again. All joking aside here though, yes, it theoretically could be possible, with a trade package including Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Maxi Kleber for salary, then throwing in their 1 tradable first-round draft pick, all 3 of their future first-round draft pick swaps, probably having to throw in Dalton Knecht for kind of a first-round draft pick or a relatively recent first-round draft pick, then whatever more the Denver Nuggets would ask from them, they probably would have to include, which would not be able to include any more first-round draft picks. But yes, it theoretically would be possible. I'm not sure if that would be a fair trade or anything the Nuggets would really want apart from Austin Reeves, but yes, I guess it could be possible. But if you ask me, definitely not very likely. I'd say about 5% chance at the absolute highest likelihood, and that's even being a bit generous here. I know they got Luka Doncic, but even with the Nuggets going through turmoil, I don't see them trading Nikola Jokic or him absolutely demanding to be traded. I think they'd have to be a first round exit, plus more drama apart from that, and then even throw in more after that point. It would take all of that and probably more for Nikola Jokic to be traded. So I guess if that would happen, maybe, but definitely not very likely. And with that out of the way here, back to reality and about the Lakers' current state and with their current playoff picture. They are currently the 3rd seed, not quite locked into it yet, but the absolute lowest they could go would be the 4th seed. So no matter what, they will get home court advantage in round 1, but they obviously do want that 3rd seed. And well, if they want to get it, they either have to win tonight or in their final game against Portland, which they definitely don't want to push it and want to win as soon as possible to lock up that 3rd seed. But it definitely won't be easy for them tonight, despite the Rockets having rested their main guys and pretty much the entirety of their starting lineup the other night. And no, they have absolutely nothing to play for tonight. Even if they win, they do not climb up any higher in the standings, or on the other side of that, if they lose, they do not drop down any further. No matter what, they are locked into that 2nd seed, and the only thing they are playing for tonight is to potentially hurt the Lakers. If they would beat them, and if the Lakers drop their game after that, yes, they would drop to the 4th seed, which may indirectly kind of benefit the Rockets if they don't want to see them come playoff time. If that would happen, and if the Lakers wind up in 4th, then it would take until the conference finals for those two to meet. So if the Rockets really don't want to see them, then yes, I guess you could argue that would be their main benefit to winning tonight, but even with that, that does not guarantee the Lakers drop to 4th. They could win tonight or in their final game and still lock up that 3rd seed. So I guess this game will simply come down to pride for the Rockets, potentially hurting the Lakers, but not a guarantee. And I guess it should be a fun, competitive game that the Lakers kind of have to view as a must-win for their team. And well, thankfully for them, they will have a mostly healthy team tonight. I mean, apart from Maxi Kleber, that's the only guy that's been ruled out. And apart from a surprise injury or pop-up on the injury report, they will have a fully healthy team apart from Maxi Kleber again. Rui Hachimura is cleared to play tonight. Did play in their last game, but will play again tonight, or very likely to play anyways. LeBron's playing tonight, Luka's playing tonight, Finney Smith is playing tonight, so they will have their full repertoire and full rotation on the court, which they definitely will need tonight if the Rockets are in fact fully healthy and are full go against them, despite having nothing to truly play for, at least in regard to playoff positioning. And well, if their last game against each other is any indication, this will be an absolute dogfight. I mean, their last matchup and last point total between them only totaled about 200 total points, and that's pretty low for today's NBA. The poor shooting side from both teams, Luka didn't shoot well, LeBron didn't shoot well, Austin didn't shoot well, pretty much nobody on the Rockets shot well, and if not for Gabe Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith, they probably would not won that game. So if neither of those two step up, or any of the big three step up, this could be an absolute grind for the Lakers and definitely will be a hard-fought game for them, which hopefully does end up in a W for them. But with all of that being said, what do you guys think? How do you feel about the matchup later tonight and the Rockets likely to play all their main guys despite having nothing to play for? How do you feel about the Lakers playoff outlook? Who do you want to be their round 1 matchup? And then how do you feel about the Nikola Jokic stuff? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.